This video is going to teach you how to create a rubric on one of your already created assignments in Canvas. So to begin, you're going to click on one of your assignments that have already been created. And when you click on the assignment, it's going to take you to the assignment homepage. Down here in the lower left-hand side, you can see this button that says Add a Rubric. Go ahead and click that button. That's going to pop up a screen that looks like this. On the screen, there are a bunch of different options for you. If you've already created rubrics in the past, you can press Find a Rubric, and then any rubric that you've already created would be here for you, and you can just simply click this, Use this rubric, and Canvas will add it for you. If you haven't created any rubrics, you will need to fill this box out. So to begin, you would just want to type a rubric name here. I would suggest naming it something specific so that when in the future you do want to use this rubric again, you can just click that Find a Rubric and it's super easy, but you can name your rubric here. The next thing that you're going to do is decide how you want to grade this assignment. For some assignments, you might have a very specific grading scale where you want to put the criteria in, you want to give full understanding of why the student would earn each category of points in your rating scale. For other assignments, you might just want to have the description and then add your own comments in here. If that's the case, you don't want to take the time to fill all of this out, you can simply click this top button here that says I'll write free form comments, and that takes that rating scale out, and you can just select the point value that you would like that criterion to be out of. Otherwise, don't select that, and I'll walk you through how you can fill this out. So the first thing that you want to do is describe what you're grading. So you would type in here whatever you are grading. So if this was an essay rubric, maybe I'm going to grade the introduction. And then in the long description, this is where you can put all of the different criteria of the introduction. So I could put attention grabber, claim sentence, anything in there that I want the students to know. You need to have these things in order to get full credit. And that's what's going to show there. On the student side, they will only see the title until they click into the rubric, and then that will show them what specific criteria within that heading they're looking for. So next you need to decide how many different rating scales you'd like to have. By pressing the plus button, that's going to add criteria to the middle. So right here we have 0 and we have 5. We can change these point values to whatever we want. We can change the titles to whatever we want. So if we want to start with 5, we can make, maybe we just want a 3-point scale. So we'll call this exceeds. And then student exceeds expectations. And that's out of 3 points. We can add one in the middle, make it out of 2 points. This is meets, student meets expectations. We can have 1 be developing, student is approaching expectations. And then last would be 0. Unsatisfactory, student did not meet expectations. So now you have your 3-point scale. You can see on the side, it's out of 3 points. Again, you can add as many as you want here. You can just leave it at 5 to 0. and then manually fill those points in. You can really do it however you want. Then you're going to add another criteria down here. This is going to pop up a box for you that you can either duplicate what you already have, or you can create a whole new criterion that you want to start from scratch. If you want to use the same rating scale, I would suggest just duplicating, because when you click duplicate, you can rename the description and the long description anyways, and name that whatever you want. So this could be like grammar and mechanics. We could put no run-ons, no comma splices. Those are my 2 criteria. And then that rating scale just automatically copies, so I don't have to retype all of that. So as you can see, my point value here is up to 6 points. So once you finish your rubric, you've added all of the criteria that you'd like, your rating scales where you want it to be, and your points are at the point value you'd like them to be. You have these different options down here. So I already talked about the freeform comments. As you can see, like I showed you before, if you click this, all these ratings go away. But if you want to have those really easy ratings to just click through when you're grading your students' work, leave it as is. If you do not want your students to see the point value from the rubric, you can remove that. This means you can still give the students a rating, so they can still see where they fall, but they don't know how many points each of these boxes are worth. So if this was like a revision assignment or maybe something that's not graded, you could give them this option so that they can still visually see where they fall in that rubric, but the point value is not there. The one button you need to make sure you check if you do want to use this for grading is this use this rubric for assignment grading box. It sounds silly, but if you do not check this, the rubric will still show up. You can still fill out the rubric, but those points are not going to automatically update into the student's grade for them. So again, if this is a graded assignment, you're going to want to make sure you click that. So once you've selected all of the different boxes that you want to customize your rubric, you're going to press Create Rubric. As you can see, originally when I created my assignment, I made it out of 10 points. But now my rubric only says 6 points. So Canvas notices the difference and is going to ask me, do I want to leave my assignment at 10 points, which means the highest possible grade a student could get is 60%, or do I now want to change my assignment to match what is posted on the rubric? I'm going to go ahead and change it. But that's also a good indication that maybe you forgot one of your criterion over here that you did not add to your rubric, and now you need to add it because your points don't match. So once you press Create Rubric, now your rubric is attached to this assignment. And when you go in through the speed grader, this will show up for you, and you can just go ahead and click in the different boxes and grade a student's assignment. In the next video after this, I'm going to walk through super in-depth how to grade with a speed grader using a rubric. But this is just an intro on how to create that rubric for each of your assignments. The really nice thing about doing it this way is if you do share your assignments with your colleagues, you can just go ahead and press Share to the Commons. And this rubric is going to actually follow the assignment, and then whoever you share it with will also have that rubric on their assignment as well. So you don't have to recreate the wheel with every single one of these assignments.